Hi everyone, Wilfried and Robin from Atelier Wen over here, and today we are really excited to be introducing you to our newest series, Inflection.
Back in 2018, when we created Atelier Wen, Wilfried and I very quickly aligned on what our mission should be, which is to celebrate Chinese culture and craftsmanship. We had this sort of pipe dream of one day maybe creating a very high horology, very unrestrained, very unbounded watch that would be the sort of like most absolute expression. Obviously, in 2018, we were just starting out. We didn't really have the means to develop such a watch. And as we released Perception, as the brand really got a bit out there, we sort of reopened the conversation, and that really came in the form of tantalum.
We decided to name the series Inflection because for us it represents an inflection point in two ways. The first one is that it's really the inflection point in our own journey as a brand and our first foray into high-end horology and really the highest attainment of our concept as a brand since we started. The fact that this is the first full tantalum case and bracelet series ever made also marks a bit of an inflection point. And so we thought that Inflection as such would be a really suitable name for this piece. This piece is significant for Atelier Wen in a number of ways. Tantalum for both the case and bracelet with very challenging finishings all around, both concave surfaces as well as convex surfaces, different kinds of finishings like polished concave bevels that we have over here, as well as some brushing, really significant in the use of the material, but also the finishing of the material. Now in terms of the dial, we also spend no expense because here we work with one of the foremost enamel workshops in China, based in Beijing, headed by Master Kong Linjun. All of these dials are Grand Feu enamel dials. This one features a hand-hammered base and gradient of green, and these two are opaque enamel dials. Now finally, this movement is supplied to us directly by Girard-Perregaux, the oldest manufacturer of movements in Switzerland. So here we worked with one of their most famous bases, which is the GP3300, that we had completely redesigned by our own team. So it's designed in keeping with the design ethos of Atelier Wen, drawing inspiration from traditional representations of wind in paintings, hence the wavy cuts that we have on both the base plate as well as the rotor, and a very high level of finishing all around. This is a really significant release for the brand because it accomplishes everything that we've aimed to do since really starting the brand, and this comes down to the design, the materials, the craft, and the movement.
Tantalum in watchmaking, especially when it comes to bracelet, has been an untackled challenge for decades. The opportunity to be the first ones to actually make a serially produced full tantalum bracelet was something very exciting, and that pushed us to use the metal. I particularly like tantalum as a metal. I really like its blue-gray color. I really like its weight, incredibly dense, and therefore it's something that you feel on the wrist. When I was in China in 2015, 2016, and when I befriended the people from the China Horology Association, when Mr. Li became my mentor, I sort of made this promise to him that it would be worth it, that I would be doing something that could really showcase the extent of like the local culture and the local craftsmanship. And I think that this piece is so far the best answer to that mission. So I'm particularly proud to be releasing this one. Work on the bevel, on the lugs, and the bracelet. So we actually have concave bevels, which are mirror polished. So this is extremely hard to make, especially with tantalum. But the way it just flows and gives this very organic feel to the watch, I think is amazing. The second aspect I am particularly fond of is the hands. So we have extremely dimensional hands. The height is around 0.4 mm. So in the world of hands, that's very huge. And the funny thing with those hands is that they were actually really hard to make because you cannot stand them as you would usually make hands. So we had to develop a new process wherein we first molded the hands and then went in to finish them by hand. And the result of that is just something that plays with light in an extremely dynamic and vivid way. And I think on the wrist is just pure joy.
My preference would go towards this green edition now. This piece is limited to 30 pieces in absolute, and that's also why we decided that we could go a little bit more off the beaten path with this kind of minty green gradient and hand-hammered base. Now, this also really contrasts with the natural darkness of the tantalum, which I think is really nice. And one other detail that Robin didn't mention, but that I think is worth kind of noting is that of the font. Now we've designed our own font for this particular edition, which draws inspiration from bamboo leaf calligraphy. And so you'll notice a lot of detail on every single numeral here that'll make you appreciate that dial just even more. The Inflection is the highest evolution of our brand to date. It's really meant to showcase all of our skills, all of our ambition as a brand, to be the embodiment of that. Though we've succeeded in our ambition, tantalum at the end of the day does remain a really difficult material to work with. And so in the first year, we'll be producing 100 pieces across all 3 editions, with the green piece over here limited to only 30 pieces. Now, we want to make sure that the people who wear these pieces are those who will be enjoying it the most. And so if you do have an interest in one of the Inflections, we'll be in touch to organize a call with you to learn more about you, your watch collecting journey, and your interest in the Inflection. We look forward to meeting you.